Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pack Podcast. I am Case. I'm here with Michael, Forrest, and Jeffrey. We have a very special guest, Mr. Kris Ball. How are you, man?
Oh, guys, I'm doing great. I can't tell you how much I appreciate y'all having me on. Thank you.
I think my stuff messed up.
You're good. We appreciate your time, Kris. Tomahawk Pro Wrestling coming to Lufkin, Texas. All these Lufkin people finally get a good professional wrestling promotion. We're so excited. Can't wait. This Saturday, January 8th at the Lufkin Civic Center. Mike, what you got for Mr. Kris?
Kris, thank you for coming on. Michael here. We have been covering promotions across Texas up until this point. We've touched San Antonio. We've touched Dallas, Houston. It is very exciting and personal for us to see a promotion come to Lufkin, the deep East Texas area. So I just want to know, how did this come together, the idea to bring wrestling to Lufkin, and what is your vision for Tomahawk Professional Wrestling?
Well, Mike, I can't thank y'all for having me on, first of all. So this all started, I guess, probably about 6-8 months ago. There was a wrestling show coming to Dieball. I don't know if y'all remember it. There was some promos put out there, and I was asked to MC the event, to be the ring announcer. I do some MCing and auctioneering at local charity events here in Lufkin. And so my name was thrown out there that I might be interested in doing the ring announcing. And I said, yeah, dude, I'd love to do it. So of course my kids were excited. I had told some family and friends about it. Everybody's excited. And then at the last minute, I guess the week coming up to that show, it kind of fell apart. And for reasons unbeknownst to me, I don't know. And so they said, well, we don't need you. So I told my kids, I said, hey man, I said, the wrestling show, I got two boys, a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. And then I got a little girl that's about 1.5. She'll be a wrestling fan, but she doesn't know it yet. And so my boys were really bummed about the wrestling show just getting canceled.
Yep.
And my good friend Cody Taylor, who's my partner in Tomahawk, we were talking about it one day, and he said, why don't we just have our own wrestling show? And I said, that's not such a bad idea. So we formed the LLC, Tomahawk Promotion Company, with the DBA of Tomahawk Professional Wrestling. We started reaching out to people that we were interested in working with, and I hit on this a little before we went live, but Tomahawk is interested in bringing a positive family event to the Angelina County area. This isn't something that we're not interested in turning a big profit on any of this. We just want to put on a show for the people of Lufkin, for the people of Angelina County. And it's something that you can bring your kids to and leave there excited about the next upcoming event, leave there excited about wrestling. We're not interested in working with profane acts or people that, excessive gore and things like that. And that's a problem with a lot of the mainstream wrestling today. Now, there's a market for that. I'm not knocking that, but that's towards adults, and we're gearing this towards families, and so we're excited for the people, the talent we have coming in. We're excited for the fans here in Lufkin, and there's been quite a buzz about it here. So we're excited about the upcoming event.
Absolutely, man. Got some great talent on the roster. We're all real familiar with Roddy Mack, Niles Plunk. Those are some great guys that are legends here in Texas, and can't wait to have them here in East Texas. Forrest, what you got?
Yeah, so Kris, it's probably the first time you heard me talk, but anyways, thank you for coming on. But I was wondering, what is your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling?
You mean like my good wrestling story? Is this what you're asking me? Like what?
Or top four, basically your top four favorite of all time.
Oh gosh, dude, I was a Hulkamaniac. What's that?
Put you on the spot.
That's all right, dude. I was a Hulkamaniac growing up. I was a huge Von Erich guy growing up. I grew up in Mount Pleasant, Texas, and that was right in their neck of the woods, dude. I remember it was probably '86. I went to the Titus County Fairgrounds. I was 6-7 years old, and main event was Kevin Von Erich versus Kamala. And they brought Kamala out with a chain around his neck and a bone in his mouth. And I remember crawling up in my mom's lap, dude. And that vision of Kamala walking by us in the crowd is burned in my mind, you know. Yeah. And Kevin come out barefoot, man, and gave him the claw, dude. And it was great. So I was a big Kerry Von Erich guy, the Texas Tornado, love him. Yeah. I liked Kamala, dude. Kamala was a good big wrestler. That dude could move, and really a class act human being later on in life. You know, so I'm more of an old school man, 80s, 90s. And DDP, dude, I was a Diamond Dallas Page fan. You know, I hit on this earlier. When the Attitude Era came out, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, I was a WCW guy. And a lot of people argue the more talented wrestlers belong to the WWE, and more of them migrated that way when WCW was having financial problems and things like that. But I loved Diamond Dallas Page, man. He was Absolutely. Great. Yeah, he was a good. I mean, kids could look up to the dude. You know, and now the way he's progressed in the DDP yoga, I mean, he's just a very positive influence, I believe, on the sports entertainment world.
Yes, so absolutely.
There you go. I got Kerry Von Erich. I got Hulk Hogan. Kamala's in there, and DDP. How about that?
Oh, perfect.
Solid.
So, speaking of legendary wrestlers, we're going to transition back to the show in Lufkin this upcoming Saturday. You have the daughter of a legendary wrestler. You have Miranda Gordy coming to Lufkin, Texas. Can you talk about that real quick?
Man, you know, when we wanted to have a female match, of course, or maybe a couple, but Miranda it's top of the list. I mean, she's top of her game. She's a real quality worker, great wrestler. Comes from great stock. Her dad, the Freebirds. I mean, they were great wrestlers in Texas. All over the world. But yeah, she was our. We were going after her, you know. And I really didn't have a backup plan if she wasn't available. And then right behind her was Claudia, you know. So I thought, what match do I want to see right here at the Civic Center? And it was Miranda Gordy and Claudia Solis, you know. And then we were just fortunate enough that they were available and were able to come down, and we're going to make it happen this Saturday. You know, Miranda, I'm excited to watch her wrestle. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. She was on fire in SWE. We're all real familiar with her. She was at SWE, big staple, big women superstar in that company. Man, she's all over the place. She's really, really hot right now. She's gonna be great. She's gonna be great for Lufkin to see. Absolutely. Her and Niles are true professionals. True professionals.
Yep. And I'm getting lots of messages on Facebook. I've had some phone calls from ladies in Angelina County that want to know what time the girls are going to be there and will they be signing autographs. You know, so it's like I said earlier, man, Tomahawk isn't I want this to appeal to everybody. I want it to appeal to men. I want it to appeal to women. I want it to appeal to kids. But more importantly, I want it to appeal to people who have never seen a wrestling show before. I want the hardcore wrestling fans. You know, you guys had already said, if there's a show in Lufkin, you're going to come. But when you found out Rodney was coming, you're excited, right? So you and me and all of you guys, we would have went to the show regardless of who was there. But when you see the talent that Tomahawk is bringing in for this show, well, then you've got soccer moms buying tickets. You've got people that have never seen a wrestling show coming to this event, and we're going to make wrestling fans out of them. You know, that's the goal.
Yeah, because those are the type of guys. They're the caliber where you come watch them, you're hooked. You're hooked.
That's it.
You instantly want to see more. You instantly want to buy. When's the next show? When's the next show? We got to see more. Those are the guys, man. They put on a show and they go after. They put it all on the line. Can't wait.
That's right. So when I started building the talent roster or looking at building the card, I mean, I went to the internet. I started scouring YouTube. I started scouring Facebook. I started looking at people that were successful in their own markets, whether it's Dallas or Sam Stackhouse from Oklahoma or wherever, San Antonio, wherever I could get the talent from. But not only the talent, but somebody that could work with anybody. You know, we don't want necessarily, we don't want problems. You know, we don't want anything that we can't put in front of my kids out there, you know? So these wrestlers are the talent that we've got coming that's on the card. Not only are great wrestlers, they're going to be great matches, but it's going to be a great show for anybody to see, you know, and that's the key. I don't know. Do you guys familiar with Gabe Wilder and the Mad Prince? That's a no DQ match that we've got. They're big in MPX up in the Dallas, the Metroplex area.
Okay.
Dude, if you look them up, Gabe Wilder and the Mad Prince, the match will be insane. And that's going to be like our second match, you know, you know what I'm saying? So right out the gate, we got Australia Galactica and Nathan Bradley. I mean, that's going to be a crazy match. Lots of high flying, a luchador type action going on there. Then you got two big men, Luther Curtis and Sam Stackhouse. I mean, I just hope the ring's standing.
I was gonna say we have to talk about that one, Luther Curtis and Sam Stackhouse. That I'm super excited for that one because, like I told you, we had seen Luther Curtis in other promotions and we were big fans of him, and we were super excited to see. Oh, he coming to the Lufkin show. He come to Tomahawk, and we were like, heck yeah, that's our guy.
Yeah. So right when we put when I put it out there, you know, I talked to Rodney and I talked to Niles, and I knew that was my main event. You know, I knew these guys were going to go at each other hard. It's going to be a hot event. And so then I started putting the rest of it together. Luther was one of the first ones that reached out to me and said, hey, I'm interested in expanding. I want to come down. I want to do this. And I started watching his videos, and I mean, the dude's like 6'1", 240. He's a big man, and he reminded me a lot. I mean, he does a spear, and you know, he does some different things off the top rope. I mean, it's not that often you see a big man that can move like that, you know. And so we brought him in, and we said we want to do it. We want to do it. And I just threw it out there. I said, man, who are you interested in wrestling? And he gave me a list. And then I started looking at those guys. Well, I come across Sam Stackhouse, dude. And one of the clips I saw of Sam Stackhouse, there was probably 500 people chanting his name at the end of the match. And I thought, that's the guy I want. Then I saw him moonsault off the middle rope. And then I thought, this dude's 380 pounds moonsaulting. You know what I mean? I gotta have him, you know? So, fortunately, we were able to get Sam involved, you know, but that's our second match. You know, that's our second match. It's going to be crazy.
Yes, absolutely. Can't wait. Yeah. Mike, what you got?
And so like you said, stacked card, and it even leads into the main event with Niles Plunk and Roddy Mack. You talk about two different styles, you know, Niles' sophistication himself coming to the ring, and then you've got Roddy Mack, someone that's just going to beat you down. I mean, just force someone that gets in the ring, not really fancy, not really gonna. He's just going to get down to business. I mean, tell us a little bit about that clash.
Man, you know, Rodney's a bruiser, dude. He has been since back in the day in the WWE. I mean, and you're right. It's a beatdown. When Roddy Mack's music pops off, it's about to hit the fan, for lack of a better phrase. And Niles can take it, dude. Niles can bring it. Niles isn't afraid of anything. I've talked to him a couple of times about this event and how we think it's going to play out, man. But I'm going to tell you, I'm excited. I'm a fan of both these guys. I don't think Angelina County is quite prepared for what this is going to look like. I mean, with the production that I've got involved with this, you know, I've got a DJ coming in. I said earlier, he's got about 10-foot stacks of speakers on either sides and enough smoke machines we could bring the Backstreet Boys out in this thing. This is going to be a big time event feel in the Lufkin Civic Center. And when you put people like Niles Plonk and Rodney Mack with Jazz in his corner at each other, the fireworks are going to happen. You know, there's going to be fireworks in the ring. Absolutely.
That was another thing I was going to mention. Can we talk about the importance of Jazz being there, a wrestling legend?
Oh, dude, she's the phenom, 2-time women's champ. I mean, you know, what she has done for women's wrestling, you can't hardly put that in perspective without watching a highlight reel of Jazz's. I mean, she's done things that that big men do. You know, she's a physical, talented performer, wrestler, and man, I'm just glad she's going to be here and be a part. Now, y'all are going to have to come see what part she plays in this thing. Cause I'm with y'all. It'll be something. You guys have seen him wrestle before. She'll be in his corner. Absolutely. And it's an advantage for Roddy.
Oh yeah, man. We're obviously the name of our podcast is the Pack Podcast because Rodney's promotion, Dog Pound, up in San Antonio. That's what we love going to. They put on a great show every single time. We love us some Rodney and Jazz. They do great. They're really great people. They always put on a great show, and they give you bang for your buck. They're going to put on a show. You're not going to want to miss it. You're not going to want to miss it. For the people that's watching live right now, where can they get tickets at, Mr. Kris?
You can still get tickets at Cook Tire. There's about 50 to 60 tickets left up there. I dropped off the remaining tickets we had at Cook Tire here in Lufkin on Denman Avenue. Otherwise, you're going to be buying them at the gate, which at the Civic Center, there's not a bad seat in the house. We limited the VIP tickets to 50 tickets because we didn't want to take away from the experience and oversell. So the VIP ticket holders, you're going to get a rally tag. You're going to get a VIP souvenir lanyard with a Tomahawk lanyard. You know, it's got our logo and name around it and everything. You're going to get a poster. You're going to get a Sharpie, and you're going to get in early access to the event, and all the wrestlers are going to be in there taking pictures, signing autographs. I've got photographers coming in. You know, we've hired photographers to come in, and anybody will have access to the pictures that are taken, as well as you can take pictures with your phone. So it's going to be an event to remember. You know, for some kids, it'll be a special thing. Just like I remembered Kamala when I was 6. This is going to be something the kids will remember for a long time.
It is, and for everybody watching here in Lufkin that hasn't been a part of an indie show where you go to a meet and greet, it is an unforgettable experience. For us, I've taken my 3-year-old daughter. It's something that you as a fan will not get in pretty much any other industry. You're getting to come up, talk to these guys that are entertainers, that are stars. They talk to you just like anybody else. It's an unforgettable experience, man. Go to the meet and greet, go take pictures, buy you a hot dog, and watch a great show. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time.
A Tomahawk dog.
Exactly.
Yeah. Get you a Tomahawk dog. The concessions will be good. So me and Cody Taylor, my partner in this thing, when we put it all together, he really took over the concessions and ran with it, because his idea was that you can go anywhere and get a crummy hot dog, right? But you can go to a Tomahawk wrestling event and get a Tomahawk dog. So it's going to be an all beef hot dog on a sweet roll. We've got pulled pork sandwiches. We're going to have pulled pork nachos. He's ordered seasoning, barbecue sauce, and dry rub. He lived in Memphis, so there was a barbecue house in Memphis that he had some stuff shipped from. It's not going to be. It'll be good food. Let's put it that way. We're going to have good food at our event. Good wrestling and good food and a good family atmosphere.
Without a doubt. You had spoken about like your childhood memories and how obviously your goal is to make memories for kids, and I think that's super commendable.
That's right. And that's what it's for, you know. And I think I was going to hit on this earlier. When I've spoken to Rodney several times on the phone, Rodney's got the same ideas that I have. And he spoke about a time growing up watching wrestling. I believe he said at his grandma's house where if you didn't dare touch the television while you were watching Saturday morning wrestling. And that was something we used to gather around the TV and do on Saturday mornings. You know, it was like NWA out of Houston or wherever it was. And occasionally you'd get to see Ric Flair. And then if we were lucky, we'd get to catch a pay-per-view every now and then, a WWF at the time, WWE pay-per-view, and watch a Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper match or something like that. But it was a good family event. Like, we sat around, we ordered a pizza, and it was a big thing that we look forward to. And I can't tell you that I'm comfortable letting my kids turn on wrestling today, you know, and just watch it. With a 10 and a 6-year-old, it's geared more towards adults. Which is profitable. I get that. I'm not knocking that. But Tomahawk is gearing this towards families and kids. I want kids to leave. I'm telling you, man, I remember the way Kamala looked at me back in '86 when he walked by. And I was crying, dude. I was distraught. So, and I'm not necessarily saying I want kids to cry at my event, but I want them to have a memorable experience, a positive experience, where they grow up and they're 35, 40, and they've got kids, and they say, man, we went to a wrestling show one time at the Civic Center in Lufkin where Roddy Mack put on a show that I won't ever forget. And that's what's going to happen.
That's right. And that's the beautiful part of what's happening right now. You know, for a long time, especially us growing up, we were not aware of independent wrestling. It was not a thing. WWE and all these big companies had everything so monopolized that all the independent stuff back in the day pretty much disappeared. It got really weak. Now all that stuff is making a comeback. Now these people can go to an event and not have to spend $1,000 on airfare. And
That's right.
$5 tickets. And now you can come right here in your town, get the same quality of wrestling and make unforgettable experiences. I mean, it's beautiful.
That's right. You know, so we're going to have security there. We're going to have off-duty police officers there. And Tomahawk's got security on staff. We're going to have concessions. We're going to have ushers. It's going to be the same feel that you get at a WWE show without spending $1,000, just like you said, man. So we're excited to put that together.
And speaking to what Jeffrey had mentioned, it's just a whole different feel when you go to an independent show, or it's not really just an independent show, just a show that's not so huge and grand scale. It's like they're right in front of you.
That's right.
VIP tickets, they're not, but like, you know, a couple yards in front of you. It's just
That's right. It's larger than life. So you're not going to be sitting in the upper deck at Dallas Cowboys Stadium trying to watch this event with binoculars. I mean, you're going to get sweat on you, dude. It's going to be up close and personal, and that's exciting. So I had the benefit in Lufkin, probably in not in Lufkin, in Mount Pleasant, 96, 97. There was a show that came to the Civic Center there. It was Greg the Hammer Valentine, the gentleman Chris Adams, Skandar Akbar, and we had front row seats. My dad took us, and I'm like 16, 17 at this point. And we went and had the best time. And this is a funny story. So one of my friend's moms was at a little local bar there in Mount Pleasant called the Longhorn. Mm-hmm. And after the wrestling show, we went home and we're sitting there at the house, and all of a sudden the phone rings, and my buddy Carl, he answers the phone. He goes, "Dude, it's Mom." He said, "She's at the Longhorn and she wants us to come up there. There's some guys she wants us to meet." And I was like, "What?" And he said, "Yeah." She said, "Just come up there." So we drove up there. They let us in the bar to meet Chris Adams, Skandar Akbar, and Greg the Hammer. We're in the bar hanging out, dude. And super nice guys, man. We didn't have cell phones. Of course, this is late 90s. There was no camera phones and things like that. We got autographs on bar napkins and things like that. And then they made us leave. But dude, that's right up there. And one of my greatest wrestling memories I got was getting these guys I had seen on TV. I'd seen them and admired them and then watched them and had a couple action figures, whatever. And all of a sudden I'm shaking hands with them, and that's the experience that we're going to bring to Lufkin this coming Saturday.
Oh, without a doubt. Just like you said, you had watched these people growing up and then you meet them. We have went to independent show and Mark Henry was there doing a meet and greet.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough. I waited in the line. Line was huge, but my grandma was the one that got me into wrestling. And so I was like, "Hey man, can you make a video for my grandma?" And he was kind enough to make a video, recorded himself, and I sent it to my grandma.
Yeah.
It was just, you don't get that in other stuff.
No, you don't. And that's what we're excited to bring, man. It's gonna be a big show atmosphere in a little town,
I think what can't be underestimated here is just how much buzz is around the event. I mean, just to take everyone back, those VIP tickets became on sale at Cook's Tire. And within days, we were talking about it. I think we snagged the last tickets. And, at one point I considered maybe waiting a couple of extra days before getting the ticket. I decided to err on the safe side, get it sooner. And I'm glad I did, because those tickets went in days. We've talked about this. You go to businesses around Lufkin, you can see the promotional material. The word's out there. Yeah,
it is. And Pineywood's printing, that's who I use for all my promotional stuff. I've got good friends over there, the Harkness family, and they're great with it, man. Ben over there, is a mastermind. I mean, some of those promotional posters that he sent to me and the individual matchup promotions that he made, they look amazing. You know, the colors that he chose and the way he cut them out and put them up there. I mean, they just really pop, you know. So even down to the promotional items that we put out there, we hadn't done anything. We hadn't half-stepped anything. You know, we've spared no expense. And we're excited, dude. And I think that speaks for itself when you sell out your 50 VIP tickets in 2 days, you know. And we've talked about, so our next event, March 26th, we've talked about doing more VIP tickets. But I don't know that you really want to flood the market with VIP tickets.
Right.
You know, it's a special thing to get that backstage access, I think. And I think the more limited it is, the more special it is, you know.
It kind of deludes it if everybody can do it.
That's right. That's right. It kind of deludes it. And so everyone needs to pay attention when the March show tickets go on sale. I mentioned earlier, we got Tim Storm coming, dude. We got Sean Hernandez coming. We got Angel Camacho coming. It's going to be another big event, you know. Tim Storm's been ripping it up on Fight TV, dude. So we were fortunate enough to get him to be able to come down and spend the evening with us. So you guys will have to hang in there and see what happens this Saturday to ask who maybe Tim Storm's going to be facing in the March event.
Absolutely.
That's just another thing. You got to be there to know.
That's right. You got to be there to know. Don't read about it. You need to be there.
And shoot, it's looking like next time we put up tickets, it might be a 1-day sellout, not a 2-day.
Yeah, it very well could be. I think we're going to do like a limited release this Saturday of some VIP tickets and sell them like in 4-packs to give the people that are at this show the first opportunity to be able to sew up and lock down a ringside seat for the March 26th show. So
without a doubt, make sure everyone that's watching this stay in tune with Tomahawk Professional Wrestling on Facebook. Keep looking at ours. We share everything. To make sure you're keeping up to date with it. Make sure you don't miss out on anything.
Absolutely. Stay in tune. Like our page for updates and different things like that. And as soon as tickets come out, you want to jump on them, especially if you want that VIP access. I mean, who doesn't want to meet Tim Storm and Sean Hernandez, right?
Exactly. I mean, at that point, you're missing out.
Yeah, I agree.
And for absolute clarity, this is a family event. Bring your kids. This is a family event. This is not old school profanity, blood wrestling that most people have the idea of. This is family friendly. Kids are going to love it. Adults are going to love it. It's something that is not offered around this area a whole lot. This is a very unique opportunity. Please jump on this. Be there this Saturday.
Yeah. Can't stress that enough, dude. Tomahawk wants to take wrestling back to its roots, dude, where it was something the family could gather around and watch and leave with a good feeling about it. You know, there's been some stuff recently that I've seen on the internet about some different shows that I started watching the clip and had to turn off midway. You know, just I don't like seeing things like that. I don't watch movies that portray that much violence. I don't want to see it live, and I sure don't want my 10 and 8-year-old sons seeing it. You know, so you're exactly right. This is going to be a family friendly event. There's no alcohol being sold at the Civic Center. They sell it. We decline the option. Not that I'm against anyone that drinks or partakes in alcohol. I just don't think it has a place at a Tomahawk Professional Wrestling show.
Yep.
Exactly. You run the risk of fans not knowing their role at that point.
It definitely gets annoying at wrestling shows for sure.
Yeah, man. The last thing I want to do is have security throw somebody out for being profane or losing their cool at something that's supposed to be enjoyed by the children. You know, now I enjoy it too. I'm not saying adults can't enjoy it, but when an adult fan decides to become part of the show, they gotta go. You know.
Yep, we've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, and I got some big old security guards.
Where does the name Tomahawk Professional Wrestling come from? Tomahawk.
Well, you guys wouldn't believe how many LLCs and wrestling alliances and things are in Texas. So when you go Piney Woods, DP Texas, Piney Woods Wrestling, just anything that we could come up with. Cody and I sat down and we thought about this, you know, bouncing ideas off each other for days. and we had several ones that were available, and he would go and try to register the LLC, and he'd say, "Yep, that's available. That's available." And it came to me one day just on the morning on the way to work. I was like, Tomahawk Professional Wrestling. It's edgy, it's sharp.
Yeah.
And it makes a really great logo for one. But that's what we want to do, man. We want to be edgy and sharp, but we want to do it in a way that doesn't push the boundaries of being acceptable. You know what I mean? You don't want to watch something and say, man, should we have taken our kids to that? Was that okay? We want it to be edgy and sharp in a positive way, and I think we're on the road to doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So to answer your question, we just came up with it, man. You like it?
We love it.
Yeah.
So
Stands out. It hits a little bit different, short to the point. I like it.
Tomahawk. It's like a warrior thing,
Yes. Yeah.
Now, before we wrap things up here in a second, I wanted to get your dark horse prediction for match of the night.
Ooh, man, I've got so many that I like. You guys know Luigi Primo. You guys know Brixton Shaw.
I've seen Primo around. I haven't seen him in person, but that's the name I've seen on social media a lot.
Yeah,
I've seen Luigi's videos. He seems. I like how he presents himself. He looks exciting.
Man, he does, and he's got a great presence about him. He's a performer, dude, and everybody that's on the card, 90% of them, 8 out of 10 of them have mentioned his name. Is he going to be there? I've worked with him before. He's great to work with. I really like the Luigi Primo match. I like the Sam Stackhouse, Luther Curtis match. I like the Estrella Galactica, Nathan Bradley match. Golly, I like the Miranda Gordy, Claudia Solis match. I don't know that. I think I'm going to say the Estrella Galactica and the Nathan Bradley match right out of the gate is going to be a banger, dude. And we didn't even talk. We got a 6-man tag team in the co-main event. We've got the Mayhem Mafia, Les Matlock. Matt's got a previous engagement, so they picked up Exodus Prime out of MPX in Dallas. Exodus Prime's coming down. Yeah,
I've seen his name.
He's going to wrestle Tatum Manning, Red Chambers, and Mikey B, dude. And those are 6 of some of the most talented workers on the indie circuit right now that are going to be in the ring at the same time. I don't see an opportunity to sit down at this show. You ask for a dark horse match. I don't know that there is one.
All the above is what I'll accept.
Yeah. Then you got Niles and Rodney in the main event. I mean, it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild.
Oh man, I believe Forrest had one more question.
Yeah, so I was wondering, what is there any wrestlers that's on your radar that you're looking to at future shows that you're looking to bring in?
Man, Tim Storm was on there from the get-go, and so when we were able to secure him down, I'd love to have somebody like Jerry the King Lawler come in from Memphis. We've reached out, we've sent some emails, hadn't heard anything back, but let's be honest, the King doesn't answer every email that he gets sent. So I'm looking.
Yeah, him and Rodney had a match recently.
Well, I'm looking to get the promotion rolling, to get Tomahawk some shows under its belt. That way, I can prove to some of these guys, these legends, that we've got some clout in the East Texas area. We're worthy of you coming down and putting on a show for us. So I think the King could be in the pipeline.
Okay.
We'll see where that takes us.
Now, I know Jeffrey and Forrest are extremely biased, but one name to put out there is Gangrel. I mean,
yep,
the Vampire Warrior.
You guys are fans of Gangrel?
Oh,
I love him.
Yeah.
Listen to the theme song every single wrestling show we drive to.
Yeah. I was a fan of the Brood. Was it Christian and Edge and
Yes,
Gangrel?
sir.
You look at the talent that came out of that group of guys and that storyline. I mean, those are all 3 great wrestlers. And I would love to have Gangrel come down. Maybe we could put Rodney and Gangrel in the ring together later on in the year or something. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Man, that'd be so awesome. Man, look, Gangrel has still got it. He came to SWE this last year. He can go. He's still a man.
Yeah.
Let's get him here in Texas. I love it.
Well, we'll look into it. Absolutely. You know, I'm a fan. So that's probably something we need to look into.
Yep. Lots of good stars around here, man. A lot of good workers just in this area. So excited. So very excited. Anything else you want to plug in, Kris, right here? Advertising wise, tickets at Cook, anything else?
I can't think of it, buddy. I just encourage everybody to come out and be a part of this thing and jump in at the ground level, because the sky's the limit. We're hoping to do 4 shows in 2022, and if we can do more, we will. But 1 a quarter is kind of what we're thinking right now.
Right.
So come jump in and be a part of it at the ground level, and let's get the feuds going and get the storylines going and see where it takes us.
Yes, sir.
Can you remind everyone the day of the event, time, where it's going to be at?
January 8th at the Civic Center in Lufkin, Texas. So VIP access is at 6 o'clock. That's the meet and greet, photo opportunities. The bell time is 7. It should run a couple, 2.5 hours probably. I look to be out of there by 10 o'clock, maybe 9:30. It will be the most entertaining 2.5 hours you can get for $14. I promise you that.
No doubt.
Promise you that. Come get a hot dog and a pulled pork sandwich, and you'll have a good time. I guarantee it.
Yes, sir.
Well, I believe that will wrap us up. Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to Tomahawk Professional Wrestling this upcoming Saturday. Thank you so much, Kris, for being on the show. This has been the Pack Podcast, and we will see you guys next time.
See you guys Saturday.